Hi, I'm Rabbi Dan Ain, and I'm joined here today by Jonathan Papernick, the author of the new book, The Book of Stone, which is just out from Fig Tree Books. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Thanks so much for joining me.
Good to be here.
There are many people and news outlets today questioning how it is possible that young people from seemingly proper backgrounds can become exposed and sometimes get sucked into extremist groups. In your novel, your protagonist Matthew Stone is such one of these young people who actually gets sucked into an extremist group, Jewish violent extremist group in Brooklyn. Tell me, what led you to want to address that question?
Well, I was living in Jerusalem in the mid-1990s during the Oslo Peace Accords, or during the beginning of the collapse of the Oslo Peace Accords, and there was a wave of suicide bombings that had gone off there, and they'd blown up actually bus number 18, which was a bus that I'd taken regularly. They blew that one up twice. And then when I moved back to New York afterwards, I'd written my first book, was set in Jerusalem, and I was dealing with kind of a lot of extremists and issues of faith. And I wanted to kind of understand on a deeper level what it was that makes somebody tick, why somebody would want to go and blow somebody up. I mean, because it's inconceivable to me as a suburban, Jewish kid from Toronto that somebody would do that. So when I wrote the Book of Stone, it would have been disingenuous for me to write this from a Palestinian point of view because I didn't really have that sort of insight. And, I was aware of some of the more radical elements in Israel. Obviously, Yigal Amir assassinated Yitzhak Rabin the day before I arrived in Israel. And there was other sorts of characters like that. So I wanted to understand what it would take to make somebody do such a thing. So my character was kind of lost in a drift. He was cut off from his traditions. Didn't really know any of the Jewish traditions. And my novel is set during the high holidays, which I think is a very powerful, awesome time. So I wanted to use this character and have the kind of the lure of faith, a place to belong, being part of a continuum, and have him kind of seek comfort in that and find comfort and find a level of community. But ultimately that was twisted in such a way that he could be used as a pawn. And I think it worked in a sense that I felt that I created a multidimensional character. I was able to walk in his shoes and understand his motivations.